Okay, the next thing we're going to do here is to calculate independent t-tests, but remember that you will need to go into the sheet that has add-ons, and there's a handout for this. So you need to have this data analysis uh, drop-down menu here in order to do this. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to get our data in a little bit different format. So what I want to do is I want to find out if there's a difference in the first item depending on whether people were married or single. So the first thing I'm going to do is to copy my column here for marital status. So I'm going to copy it, and then I want to move it over. I will put it in column S. So I'm going to copy and paste. Then I'm going to take my question 1 and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to put it in the next column, which is column T. I'm going to paste it right here in T1. Okay, well, this is still not in the right order, so I still have to do a little bit here in order to get this to be working. So what I'm going to want to do here is I'm going to want to sort my data. So I'm going to highlight my data starting with cell S2, and I'm going to drag it to T2 and all the way down to the end of my data. So this part is highlighted. Then I'm going to go to Home, and I'm going to click on Sort and Filter and drag it down to Sort Smallest to Largest, and just click on that. And if you notice, marital status, all my 1s appear and then all my 2s appear, and the scores are matched. So when the 1s and 2s are sorted, the associated responses to question 1 stay with the person who their marital status are reported here in this other column. So you would think you were done, but you're not yet. What I want to do next is I'm going to take the data on question 1 for my 2s on marital status. These are my married people. So I'm going to highlight these, and I'm going to actually I'm going to highlight only these, because notice that there's no marital status for this person, so I don't really know what this value would be for them. I can't use this data point because I don't know whether they're married or single or something else. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to cut these, and I'm going to paste this in cell U2 and put it right there. Okay, so I need to do one more thing here. I need to label these. This column in T is no longer all my responses to question 1. These are actually the responses. The ones I'm going to use are for the single people, so I'm going to label that, and then in my U column these are the married students. Okay, so once I have that, I am ready to go. Don't worry about this one little score hanging out over here. And I'm going to go on the top menu to Data. I'm going to click on Data, and notice I have a Data Analysis option here. So I'm going to click on this. The next thing we're going to do is click on the Data Analysis box. We want to first have the cursor on some number. So we'll click on Data Analysis box, and this is what will appear. It will give the analysis tools, or a whole list of statistical analyses that you could do. And what we want to do is to drag down to t-test to sample assuming equal variances. Just highlight that and click on OK. And when you do that, you're going to get a box like this appears, and it's got some stuff written in it, but we're going to delete that. And what I want to do is I want to compare single, let me delete this one as well. I want to compare single people, and their first piece of information is in cell T1, and it ends here in cell T14. So remember, I need to type in a colon in T14. Then for my married people, their first data point, it's actually the label, appears in cell U1. So I'm going to type U1 colon. And the end data appears here in cell U6. So I'll type U6. I want to type in a number for the hypothesized difference, and the number I want to type is a 0. So make sure this is a 0 because we're always hypothesizing no differences. Actually, what's going to happen when you, I've been playing around with this so there's some numbers in here, but you want to make sure you type in a 0 for hypothesized difference. Then click on the labels little box here, make sure that's checked. That comes out pretty cool, you'll see in a minute. And then I'm going to just pick a cell. I will pick for my output range, I'm going to pick cell S23 here. And then I'm simply going to click on OK. Okay. So now you're going to see the results here. It turns out that the mean for single people is about 3.08 if you round. The mean for married is 3.4. Here's the variances. You simply square these to get the standard deviation or calculate them the way we did before. We have the number of people in the singles and the married, 13 and 5. We have a pooled variance, hypothesis testing mean differences. Our degrees of freedom here are 17. Our t-value here is a minus 57686. And the reason this is negative is because it takes the first mean and subtracts the second mean from it, so it's single minus married in this case. So you can tell single is a lower number, so we're going to get the negative sign. And then it gives us a probability for the one-tail test and the critical t, and the probability for the two-tail test. And if you notice, both of these probabilities are greater than 0.05, so the results here are not significant. There's really no difference between the single and married people, and you can see that their mean really is less than a half a point apart. They're very similar.